Welcome to the Unshakable Growth. I'm Esti, and let's get started. Welcome back to the Unshakable Growth podcast. Today I'm at Uluru, overlooking the huge red rock behind us, and I'm so excited to have Kayla joining us. She recently moved to Australia from the US, and let me tell you, her energy is contagious. Kayla radiates positivity and is the kind of person who lifts everyone up by being around them. We are diving into how she embraced new beginnings with such an empowering mindset, and I can't wait to let you all soak into her incredible vibes. So let's get started. Welcome, Kayla. Welcome to my podcast.
Thank you, Esty, for such a warm welcome. Wow, I've never gotten such an intro before.
Mhm.
Feeling incredible.
I remember when I first met you at work, I was really attracted to your bubbly personality, and it leads me to inviting you for lunch. And I think during that 30-minute lunch that we have, I've known so much about you, and I really wanted to get to know you more. And I'm really glad that you're on a trip with me right now in Uluru.
Same. And I think what I loved about that first little lunch friend date thing,
Hmm.
too, is that was my first week at work.
Yeah.
And we had just seen each other in a meeting. And you messaged me and you're like, pretty much like, hi, I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Like, let's get lunch. And I was like, this is the greatest,
Yeah.
absolutely. And we did not shut up once that
Hmm.
entire lunch. I remember in the middle of it, I think because we were both in similar situations, like both
Hmm.
kind of found ourselves in a new
Environment.
environment
Yeah.
and had this drive to just do it, like do the things that we wanted to do, either with other people or if other people weren't able to make it or
Hmm.
join, just do it alone. And I loved that excitement that you had too.
Yeah.
I mean, you even showed me pictures of your recent skydiving
Oh,
trip at that
yes.
point, and I was
Yes.
like, this person is awesome. I need to be her friend.
Yeah.
Which just excited me because I think, yeah, the way I ended up in Australia was
Hmm.
not on purpose, I say.
Hmm.
Um, but it was kind of this gut feel. I was supposed to move somewhere else, and just by chance went to Australia to visit. Um, and ended up loving it so much. So I was like, okay, I have to do this.
Hmm.
And then when I was here, there was just so much to do, so much to see that I was like, I can't let myself get in the way of that.
Mm.
And I love that you also did not let yourself get in the way of that. You had
Yeah.
your bucket list and you just kept ticking off the things that you wanted to do, which is exciting to see that in somebody else too.
Yeah, that's really great to hear. And because I know you as such a positive person, and you always radiate your positivity, I'm just wondering, how do you cultivate your positivity in your daily life, and especially when things feels quite overwhelming, working in the hospitality industry. It can be a little bit overwhelming. How do you keep that up?
I love that you said that because there's three things that I try to bring every day. And I think it was a college professor that brought it up, was said something like, everyone, you have to have your personal motto to get you through those
Mm-hmm.
hard days, because, and this was in a hospitality 101 course, and he was almost telling us, this is a hard industry you're going to be in. You're not saving lives, so there's not that emphasis of your complaints matter, almost like, oh, you're in the service industry, you're not saving lives, so like you can complain, but you don't have it too bad. But still, you're putting in 14, 16-hour days, you don't have
Mm.
holidays, so there are tough days, as
Yep.
you said. And from then on, I cultivated the three P's. And I had to say the three P's because I have a terrible memory, is passion, patience, and positivity.
Ooh.
And so every day, and I think I've used this in every single interview that I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Um, excuse that. There's a lot of bugs around. um, I can make it through anything as long as I have at least two of those.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I lack patience, but it's always something I'm working on
Yep.
constantly.
Yeah.
Struggle sometimes. But as long as I have patience, passion, and positivity, or
Mm-hmm.
some form of those three,
Yep.
I think
Any two of those?
exactly
Yep.
any two of those you can really push through. Um, they've helped me kind of see through really really tough
Mm-hmm.
situations, and knowing that okay, if it's not okay, it's not the end. Things will get better.
Yep.
The thing I've gotten to saying to people lately is if it's a bad day or if it's a good day, you still have 24 hours. So if
Yeah.
it's a bad day, you just push through until midnight,
Mm-hmm.
and then
And
it's
that's it.
the opportunity for another better day.
Yeah. That's such a positive vibes that you have.
It gets me through a lot of bad times,
Mm-hmm.
and if I think it's easy to kind of get flustered or get overwhelmed, get stuck in a bad mindset,
Mm-hmm.
but I truly believe with you know trying to see at least one positive thing in a situation. It doesn't have to be the situation. It could just be, hey, at least I know at the end of the day I'll be able to go home and have a nice cup of tea,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll be able to call my mom and
Yeah.
complain.
Mm.
At least there's that. There's always something. Then you can get through the bad times.
Yeah. I think you need something that you mentioned, like an anchor or something to hold you back down, to
Exactly.
de-stress as well, um, after a long day at work. So just wondering what kind of activity or what things would you do to de-stress yourself or make you feel better at the end of the day? Like something you could share with our audience here?
Yes. Um, this is part of my Australia adventures thing, I think, too. Um, I love picking up hobbies.
Hmm.
Typically, I drop them just as quickly, though. But I love to try new things.
Yeah.
So when I first got to Australia, I had pottery, like ceramics, on
Mm.
my bucket list for so long, and I was like, you know what? Okay, this is how I'm going to distract myself through
Yep.
the transition period of being
Hmm.
like, oh my goodness, what did I just get myself into? I'm in a new country. I know nothing about this place. I
Yep.
have no friends, no family. Well, what am I doing?
Hmm.
So I jumped into pottery classes,
Yep.
ended up loving it. Did that
Yep.
for a few months. Right now I'm doing boxing.
Oh.
So fun. We'll see how long that lasts. But so far, absolutely having a great time.
Hmm.
I like to have trips planned, things that I can look forward to.
Hmm.
Um, but at the end of the day, I am a big, big, big book nerd. And I
Mm.
think even reading about somebody else's life, or whether it's fantasy, whether it's a biography, whether it's um, a mystery or a thriller, it still allows you to kind of escape from the stress in your life for a little
Hmm.
bit,
Yep.
give you perspective before jumping back into
The
your life.
reality.
So I'm not saying escape into books, although my mom has accused me of doing that in the past. But using it for a temporary little
Escape.
escape
Yep.
to get perspective, I think
Mm.
is really nice.
Yeah. And I also like the way you say trying new things as well, because when I first moved here, I think I was like in a similar situation with you. I have no friends. Just moved here. I don't know anyone. Don't know the city. I was also trying my best to try new things that I've never tried before. So when I first moved here, I attended some dance class, pick up hip hop and JFH. That's called jazz, funk, and hip hop. So those dance classes really interesting to me. And I always
Again,
wanted
the
to do,
coolest person I know.
and I always wanted to do them when I was younger, but I was too shy to do that. Because I guess I was quite introvert and kind of lack of confidence. So I can see that you are quite a confidence person. Do you have any tips or tricks that we can you can share with us in terms of building confidence?
First off, thank you for saying that. There are, I wouldn't say by nature I'm a very confident person. I think I'm slowly but surely learning how to trust my gut and trust my
Mm.
instinct. And I
Mhm.
think that comes with honestly making a lot of mistakes and um, realizing that your biggest advocate, but also your biggest roadblock in a lot
Mhm.
of goals that you set for yourself is yourself.
Mhm.
And so the fact that even you mentioned that you wanted to do dance classes when you were younger, but you thought you were too shy.
Yeah.
I feel like there comes a day, and it happened to me in the last 6 months, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
where you almost have to say, like, screw it. Like, I still want to do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna let myself get in the way of something that I could potentially have an absolute amazing time doing.
Yeah.
Or meeting new people. I'm not a huge fan of meeting new people because I'm like, what am I going to talk about?
Yeah. It's like there will be an awkward moment when you first meet new people and you don't know what is mutual in both of you,
Yeah,
right?
but most likely they're thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
They're
that's
thinking the
right.
same exact thing. And what I like, what I've come to find out is that literally nobody
Mm-hmm.
has it all together. Everyone here is just figuring out life how they best perceive it every day, just the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's nice to kind of, I don't know, I don't have a, I wish I had a rule book. I wish there was a rule book on how to be confident, how to be
Yeah.
comfortable in your own skin, how to do things scared.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe that's it. You just have to do things scared and know that there could be a potential for a huge reward at the end of it.
Mm. I think it's just the gut feel of just do it, right? If you don't do it, you will regret. Because if you don't do it, you will never know the outcome. And but once you do it, you could get it to the way you wanted, but it could also go to the other direction. But there is chances for you to go to the direction that you want it to be, right?
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
even if you do something
Mm-hmm.
scared and you absolutely end up hating it, or it's really awkward, really uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
at least you learned one thing that you don't have to question again. At least you know you have the answer.
You.
I've had many of those opportunities, those moments too.
Mm. Wow, that's really great insights. And since that you've moved over here to Australia about 6 months now, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, is there anything that you learn about yourself, something new that you learn about yourself before moving over here?
That's a great question.
Is that something that you do differently that you've never tried before in the States and you started doing them here, other than the pottery class and boxing?
Yes, yes. You know, I think I've gotten a lot more comfortable being on my own.
Hmm.
I
Enjoying your own company.
enjoy my own
Yeah.
company, exactly. And I feel like it's one of those cliches that everyone kind of has said over the years,
Mm.
um, that I never truly understood
Mm-hmm.
until recently. But it's it's an interesting concept to go sit by yourself at a restaurant and have dinner,
Oh, yes.
or go see a movie alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to think like, oh, I would be embarrassed because I don't have anyone else to go with. And I think
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
strength in the end
Mm-hmm.
because I'll ask friends if they want to go see a movie
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday night, $5 tickets at the Ritz Cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if they're busy and I still want to go, I'll go. The
Yeah.
only thing stopping me is me.
Yeah.
And if I'm embarrassed to spend time with myself
Mm.
or uncomfortable spending time with myself, then I think that was maybe a weakness that I didn't see in me
Mm.
before, almost challenging myself to do that more here.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest, before moving here, I don't think I did anything really by myself besides go to the park and read,
Mm-hmm.
or, you know, travel somewhere on myself. I do planes amazingly well on
Yeah.
my own. It's the greatest. But being able to be comfortable with yourself, and it also has given me opportunities to talk to people. I have
Oh, yeah.
local restaurants that I like
Mm-hmm.
now, and I'll go sit at the bar and talk to the bartenders all night. And now they
Oh,
know me. Now the owner knows me. I'll go,
wow.
talk to my neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
just because I go on walks now, and now my neighbors know me as the American girl, which
Oh.
is fair. I don't live in a very American prevalent neighborhood. Um, and it's nice. It's giving me more opportunities to meet people,
Mm-hmm.
which again makes me feel more comfortable meeting new people because it's not as scary anymore.
Yeah. I guess the how do I put this in words? Like if you tried it a few times, you'll get more comfortable with it and more confident with it.
Yes,
So yeah, the only hurdle that you have in front of you is yourself.
exactly. The more comfortable you get with being uncomfortable, the less uncomfortable you will feel.
That makes
I'm
sense.
gonna have to watch that back and see if that actually makes sense. Being uncomfortable isn't as scary as it seems. Now I'm getting a lisp too. This is a great time to get a lisp.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a really great advice over there. Like it is all about you, right? And this is your life. You have to make it work for yourself. And the only challenge that most of us have, and especially I would say the Asian cultures would have, is being too shy, too introverted. I'm afraid of doing this alone. I'm afraid of going to this class alone or whatsoever reason. It's always yourself that's being in the way.
You know, I think it's I would never outwardly classify you as shy
Uh-huh.
now that I know you. Like ever. However, I think it's like a shy people can have shy personalities
Mm-hmm.
and people can be shy with new people.
Yeah.
And I feel like since I've known you, you've gotten so much more bold with meeting new people and like having such like an open outlook
Uh-huh.
that I feel like it's exploding into other areas of your life too. And it's been so cool to see, even just over the last 6 months,
Yeah.
because I think that it's something I really admire as well. The fact that you took a chance on a stranger that is from a strange land on my first week of work. And
Yeah.
I've been seeing you do that in like so many other chances and so many opportunities and mentioning, like, oh, I really want to get to know this person more. And then you go out and do it. And that's really cool. It's a skill, it's a talent. I think it's something that a lot of people are scared to do, myself included.
Mm, I guess it took me quite a long way here. And it's not every time that I really go ahead and approach that some new people that I want to get to know too. There will be times that I'm, shy and afraid to approach them as well. But for you, I think because your vibe or your personality really attracts me a lot. Like I really want to get to know this person.
It's our fire signs. We're both the
Oh yes,
Sagittariuses.
yes. Oh yeah, we are both Sagittarius, and we are adventurous person wanting to try new things.
Some
Yeah.
luck of some chance that we're here.
Yeah, and I guess that actually pushes me to reach out to you or reach out to the people I really want to know. So it's really great to see that I'm at this stage because thinking back, previously when I was living in Malaysia or even my secondary school days, I was really shy. I'm even shy to the extent of I'm afraid to order my own food in a hawker center.
Oh, I hate ordering my own food. When I'm out, I will make whoever I'm with
Yeah.
order my own food. And the
Oh.
places that I go alone, a lot of them now know my order.
Because you dare not order your own food, that's why they memorize them.
They're like, "Oh, you want this and this again?" I'm like, "Yes, please." And maybe tiramisu for dessert.
Mm.
I think that's a shared scare. I think that so
Mm.
many people have. Me and my sisters joke about this,
Yeah.
that we used to make me and my older sister
Mm-hmm.
would make my little sister even go up to the counter at like, fast food restaurants and ask for extra ketchup or tomato
Mm-hmm.
sauce here,
Yeah.
because we just we would hate to do it. And I don't know if it was before I was in hospitality, but man, even if if I'm at a restaurant and they serve me the wrong thing,
Uh-huh.
I do not care if they serve me food from another restaurant. I will eat it
You suck it
rather
up.
than say, "Oh, I'm sorry, this is not what I ordered." And that's still, maybe that's something I can work on.
Oh,
But I still, the fear of being like, "Oh, no, no, no. I'm so sorry. This isn't what I want." It's
this is not
terrifying.
my order. Yeah.
But now I will talk to that
Okay.
same server
Yeah.
about anything. I will talk to
Mm.
them about what they're studying in school, about where they're from,
Getting to know people personally.
getting
Yeah.
to know people personally.
Yeah.
Yes, I will do that absolutely any day.
Uh-huh.
Telling them my order was wrong? No way. Absolutely not.
Oh, not even now? What about now?
We're working on it.
Okay. Okay. We'll definitely see some improvements over there.
I'll give an update in a little bit.
um, and since moving here, or how do you see the new opportunities and challenges that you have over here shape your personal growth?
Oh, how do I see my.
Like being more confident, trying new things that you've never tried back in your home country, things like that. I believe they shape your personal growth. It's just that in what way or what sense
Oh,
that you perceive.
I love this because I think I've been very fortunate and I've lived in some really cool places before,
Mm-hmm.
but they've always been in the United States, um, and the, including Santa Barbara, right on the beach. I've
Ooh.
lived in the Rocky Mountains before in Colorado, which are so cool. Lived in San Francisco, right on the water as well. And I don't think I really ever took advantage of living in those places
Mm-hmm.
the same way that I'm taking advantage of every opportunity I can in Sydney. And I'm excited to see where that can take me in my future,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's in another country. Mom, please don't judge me for that. I know you want me to come home. Whether that's in another country, whether it's home, being able to jump into a new city, new place, and be like, just have that mindset of, I'm here temporarily. I need to make use of everything. I want to try all the restaurants. I want to learn how to surf if I'm going to be in Australia. I want to go to the mountains. I want to ski in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I want to kayak under the Sydney Bridge
Yeah.
at sunrise, which will be so early, and I'll be so tired. It'll be cold, but it'll
But
it'll be fun.
yeah, it's on the bucket list.
It's on the bucket list, and I think people put off checking things off their bucket list
Mm.
because they either they can keep giving themselves excuses, they can keep giving themselves the reasons not to do
Yeah.
it. But at the end of the day, the only person it's going to affect is you. So, and if you keep putting it off, I feel like life gets in the way,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have to be anything big. You don't have to, if visiting Ayers Rock or Uluru
Mm-hmm.
is on your bucket list and you live nowhere near it, you don't have to automatically put this as number one on your bucket list. You could be try a new food at the grocery store. It could be, what is it? Or yeah, buy a new cereal that you've
Mm,
never
oh
heard of.
yeah.
um, it could be little everyday adventures,
Mm.
things that challenge you to do something new. And slowly but surely, those will lead you to kind of creating this quest for new experiences.
Mm.
And I think before I came here, I always thought bucket list items had to be big, had to be
Yeah.
massive, had to be travel to all 7 continents before I'm 30, which is
Mm.
was on there from when I was like 10 until now. I'm definitely not going to make it, but I'm a lot closer now than I was back
Yeah.
then. And it's because of like all these little things.
Yeah.
Um, and I think just having that excitement
Yes.
for these these mini opportunities, these mini adventures,
Mm. And
talking to a
there's
stranger, giving a stranger a compliment. That's something that I've started doing,
uh-huh.
giving a stranger a compliment every single day.
Wow.
And honestly,
Mm-hmm.
so much fun. I've had some great conversations with absolute strangers on the light rail or when waiting to cross the street to say, "Hey, I like your shoes." And my aunt told me you never give a false compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Aunt Heidi. But it's fun and it makes other people feel good. It gives other people just like a little boost of energy for
Mm,
30 seconds
yeah.
and could spiral those little random acts of kindness, but then you feel good because you made somebody feel good and
Yeah.
who knows what can come of it.
Yeah. I think in this short few minutes that you were sharing about your bucket list and the complimenting each other like other strangers, it actually already includes those two P's that you mentioned just now, which is passion and what was the last one?
Positivity.
Positivity. Yes, that's right.
You're right. I
Yeah.
didn't notice that.
Yeah, so the passion and the excitement of doing new things, even though it's small, it's really what's keep you going along the way, right? Because life, you shape your own life, you make it interesting. So I think those passion and excitement, it's what really push you forward. And I know that recently you bought the a card deck of everyday adventure.
Yes, yes, that's what I was referencing with
Yeah.
the cereal.
So Kayla recently bought this card deck. It's called Everyday Adventure,
Hmm.
and you basically can pick up the cards and it will ask you to do something,
Yeah, such as
such
let's
as
have a forbidden conversation. This one, I was like, Esty, what are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk work drama right now? And then go to the zoo without a
Mhm.
child, which I thought was
Mm.
interesting because I was like, how often do we actually get to do childish things
Things, yes.
just for fun? Because we want to do them. It's nice to kind of encourage our childhood self as well.
Yeah. And I think like everyone has their own inner child um that really wants to play. It's just that reality and life has been like putting us down, anchored down to the ground. You have to do what you have to do, get your paycheck, get things done,
Responsibilities,
get
adulting.
bills paid and things like that. So but then at the end of the day it's life. You need to let your inner child out and play.
Exactly. I agree 100%. I think um, actually something I've been asking some coworkers lately
Mm-hmm.
when they're stressed is what have you done in the last 24 hours for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I think it's really hard when you're stuck in like a stressful situation or
Yeah.
stress just bubble.
Mm.
It's hard to justify giving yourself a break
Mm-hmm.
and giving yourself or giving putting aside time for yourself
Yeah.
without feeling guilty about it.
Yeah.
And lately I feel like the just day to day, the daily grind um can make it so that even in our free time, we feel like we have to fill it with things
Mm-hmm.
and oftentimes they don't bring us joy or we feel
Mm.
guilty when we have a day when we're like so tired that we don't want to leave bed and we just watch movies and order
Yeah.
in food
Mm-hmm.
like dumplings. I
Yeah.
order in a lot of dumplings.
Yeah, there's so many times that I heard about coworkers saying that, oh, I'm not doing anything during my days off. For me, I think that time really flies by so quickly every single day. It's like if you're not doing something for yourself during your days off, when are you going to do something for yourself? Right.
Hmm. And even if you're tired, I mean, this morning we were tired.
Mm. We
um
woke up at like six. Yeah,
6:30 we were
6:30. Yep.
supposed to, but it ended up being 6:45.
Yeah.
Those extra 15 minutes made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we can do things that we want to do tired, but it's I feel like if your body will tell you when you need a break, but
Yeah.
it's nice to do something for yourself before it gets to that point.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a day to completely lie in bed maybe, but then the other day of your weekend go see a part of the city that you've never been to,
Yeah.
or um, call up family, call up friends, check in, see how they're doing. Sometimes it's nice just to hear a
Yeah.
familiar voice. Um, go find a restaurant in your city with the highest rating for the food that you're craving.
Mm.
Or my favorite, go eat a dessert somewhere.
Oh.
If you're ever in a funk, I dare you to go find a pastry
Yeah.
that doesn't make you feel better. That's a that's a personal tip right there. Done that a few times.
Do you have a recommended pastry place that you have here in Sydney? Oh,
Yes,
back in Sydney.
the sweet shop patisserie in Randwick. It's
Uh-huh.
delicious. They also have like really nice teas
Mm-hmm.
selection. So you can just sit there with like a whole pot of tea, eating some beautiful passion fruit like cheesecake, and
Mm-hmm.
it is a good time.
Yeah.
It is a great time actually. That and gelato will just like
Mm. I need to visit those places.
yeah. Anita's gelato is really good.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good. And I guess like when you do things with passion, eventually you'll get those positivity coming through your way. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm a big dopamine chaser.
Oh,
So like
love
and I
that.
think that might be the ADHD in me as in I think it is the ADHD in me. Um but sometimes you just need to feel it's nice to get a rush that dopamine, make you feel like you've accomplished something, even if that thing is getting dressed, putting on
Dress to impress.
yeah, dressed to impress and just going outside on a day that you don't feel very good about yourself or
Mm.
and you don't have to go out for very long. You can go out for 5 minutes, you can go out for 5 hours, but sometimes changing your environment, changing your scenery really can impact you a lot more than you'd expect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Anywhere near water, I will always recommend on a bad day because there is
Mm.
something so calming about water, and I can go into detail in blue mind theory, but I am not an expert. But just the feeling of being around water is a really powerful
Mm-hmm.
and serene experience that I recommend everyone should go
Mm.
explore whenever they're having a bad day.
Yeah. I'd really like to hear a little bit more about the blue mind theory that you mentioned just now. Would you like to share a little bit on that
Oh, lovely.
before we end our podcast?
Yeah, so blue mind theory goes
Mm-hmm.
back to the feeling of um, when you're think back to like when you're in a pool
Mm-hmm.
and you are able to stand, but like you dunk your head underwater
Okay.
and you have that feeling of calm. All of your senses are pretty much turned off. You're not hearing anything. If your eyes are open, you're just seeing the water shine around you, and it's this feeling of almost like encapsulated peace.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's this whole idea behind blue mind theory that people have done studies on where they've found that people that live around water
Yeah.
live a little bit more peaceful lives because they have the serenity from the ocean or rivers or
Mm-hmm.
creeks or lakes to kind of give them that peace of mind. That idea that, okay, whenever it gets too bad, like I have that water. And my favorite example of this is even in like, again, I'm a big book nerd. So in anytime you read books about like the Victorian era or anytime somebody has like an illness, they're like, oh, send her for a week out to the house in wherever near the water.
Mm-hmm.
She needs a weekend near the sea. And I'm like, that's me. I need a weekend near the sea. I need a weekend to just recover next to water,
Mm-hmm.
feel happy, feel wonderful,
Yeah.
refreshed.
Mm.
And I think it's a very non-expert way of explaining what blue mind theory is, but it's highly interesting. I highly recommend you guys go explore if you're
Yeah.
interested.
And I think I get that same serenity or calmness when I'm afloat in the swimming pool.
Yes,
Yeah, because basically the water covers your ear and you don't hear anything. And even though you can hear something, it's just the water, the sound of the water rippling. So I think it really brings us a lot of calmness over there.
a lot of calm, and it turns your brain off for a little bit.
Yeah.
And if anyone lives near an area where they can do like a sea swim,
Mm-hmm.
I was a firm I was in firm denial about the benefits of a sea swim,
Uh-huh.
but it is incredible, especially when it's pretty cold. Your body just focuses on making sure that everything inside of you is able to breathe and that you're good, you're safe, you're secure, and so it
Mm-hmm.
shuts off your brain and literally
Uh,
stops any anxiety, any worries from coming through,
mm-hmm.
and then afterwards you almost feel superhuman.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool.
Well, I've never tried sea swim though.
Famous last words, Esty. We're about to go sea swimming now.
It's another thing on our bucket list right now.
We'll check that off very soon.
Yep. All right. As we wrap up today's episode, I really want to give a huge thank you to Kayla for sharing her inspiring journey and all the positive energy that she brought to this conversation.
Thank you, Esty.
And her story is a powerful reminder that with the right mindset, any transition, no matter how big, can become an opportunity for growth. So I hope all of you felt as uplifted as I did in this conversation that we had. I hope. So remember, no matter where life takes you, keep your positivity, stay positive, and opening up all kinds of opportunities can truly transform your experience. Thank you again for tuning in, and until next time, keep embracing your unshakable growth. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in the Unshakable Growth. Stay unshakable, and I'll catch you in the next episode.